For months, we waited for a civil war to erupt between Donald Trump and Elon Musk, and it finally happened. But none of us expected it to be this fierce. After hours of bickering, tweet wars, and mutual threats, Trump made his biggest threat yet. He threatened to cancel all of Elon Musk's government contracts. Elon Musk, on the other hand, dropped the biggest bombshell of Trump's presidency. He brought up the Jeffrey Epstein connection, and this sent MAGA circles into a frenzy. We will talk about these stunning developments in every detail, but first I have a small request. If you like the video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the Liberty Left channel. If you haven't already, it's really important and means a lot to us. Now let's talk about the Trump video this morning that started this chain of events.
So we've done a great job. Elon knew that. Elon endorsed me very strongly. He actually went up in campaign for me. I think I would have won. Susie would say I would have won Pennsylvania easily anyway, even if the governor ran, the real governor, not the governor from Minnesota, he's a sick puppy, that guy. That poor guy, I feel sorry for him. But they made a bad choice with him. But if you pick Shapiro or anybody else, I spoke to him recently about his house being set on fire, which was terrible. But if they picked him, I would have won Pennsylvania. I won it by a lot. But I'm very disappointed because Elon knew the inner workings of this bill better than almost anybody sitting here, better than you people. He knew everything about it. He had no problem with it. All of a sudden he had a problem, and he only developed the problem when he found out that we're going to have to cut the EV mandate, because that's billions and billions of dollars, and it really is unfair. We want to have cars of all types. Electric, we want to have electric, but we want to have a gasoline, combustion. We want to have different. We want to have hybrids. We want to have all. We want to be able to sell everything. And when that was cut, and Congress wanted to cut it, he became a little bit different, and I can understand that. But he knew every aspect of this bill. He knew it better than almost anybody, and he never had a problem until right after he left. And if you saw the statements he made about me, which I'm sure you can get very easily, it's very fresh on tape. He said the most beautiful things about me. And he hasn't said bad about me personally, but I'm sure that'll be next. But I'm very disappointed in Elon. I've helped Elon a lot.
Mr. President, I just want to clarify, did he raise any of these concerns with you privately before he raised them publicly? And this is the guy you put in charge of cutting spending. Should people not take him seriously about spending now? Are you saying this is all sour grapes?
No, he worked hard, and he did a good job. And I'll be honest, I think he misses the place. I think he got out there, and all of a sudden he wasn't in this beautiful Oval Office, and he's got nice offices too. But there's something about this one. I was telling the Chancellor, this is where it is. People come in here, even from Germany. They come in and they walk into the Oval Office, and it's just a special place. It's, World War I, it started and it ended here, and World War II, and so many other things. Everything big comes right from this beautiful space. It's now much more beautiful than it was 6 months ago. A lot of good things are happening in this room. And I'll tell you, he's not the first. People leave my administration and they love us.
And here's Trump digging his own hole again, this time targeting Elon Musk. Yes, Elon. The one he praised last year, the one he called a great patriot, a genius businessman, the man who brought us the electric revolution. What happened to him now that he suddenly became a disappointment? Of course, money. Of course, profit. Trump says Musk changed his tune when EV incentives were cut, as if he's not a windmill that turns wherever the wind blows. You know what's funny? This guy is still talking about the magic of the Oval Office. Even the Germans come, they're mesmerized. Bro, this is not Disney World. You're running a state, not a theater. And classic Trump. No matter what the issue is, it somehow comes down to, look, people love me. Everything is a manifesto of narcissism. I'm sorry, but it's not about Elon's EV incentives. It's about the fact that your ego era is no longer working because people aren't buying it anymore. And yes, I'm really angry right now because this country is not the stage for one man's bruised ego.
I think it's important that what we're seeing is that the internal civil war, the family fight, is coming out into the public, right? Mm-hmm. You know, Bobby was still very nice about everything that he had to say and felt like it was okay to disagree. And a lot of times we sit there and are like, Hello? Are y'all paying attention? Because, like, this is impacting y'all, too. Like, say something, right? And so now that there's, like, the family infighting, we see, you know, even Elon Musk, honey, he can't get out of the Twitter, right? Like, he is talking about the bill and trying to take the bill and telling people, call your senators and make sure you take this bill down. And listen, I never thought there would be a day that I would agree with Elon on anything. But that's where we are, where people are finally starting to say, you know what, this is actually impacting me a little too much. I'm going to have to speak up and speak out against this. But my issue is this. All of y'all voted for this so that it would hurt somebody else. The problem was you got upset when you found out that, oh, shoot, it can hurt me too. And honestly, it's ingrained in who Democrats are, is that we actually care and we love and we want to take care of everybody. And that's why we got this big tent party and we all over the place. But I will tell you that compassion is something that we are missing in Congress.
Yes.
Like, caring is something that we are missing in politics in general. Mm-hmm. And that's the only way you can justify a senator going out there and saying, well, everybody gonna die. And then decide that you're gonna do your apology, not so much an apology, in what looked like a graveyard. Right. I'm like, listen, ain't nobody elect you to be anybody's grave digger. They elected you to do everything that you can to make sure that their lives are flourishing and getting better and that they were living as long as they could.
That's part of the job. Part of the job is also in your current position, watching what this administration is doing and making sure that they are accountable. You recently threw your hat in the ring to be ranking member on the House Oversight Committee, saying in your Dear Colleague letter, Americans are demanding a more strategic, aggressive, and energetic fight. What do you think that fight should look like?
Look, this is way past the level of a domestic dispute. This is primetime drama on Twitter. Voices from within the Democratic Party are finally starting to say, this can't go on like this. I mean, think about it. Even Elon Musk, yes, that Elon, is saying, this law is bad, brother. Call your senator. Elon, when he talked about human rights last year, we thought he was broadcasting from Mars, but here we are. Because it's not just about the others anymore. It's about everyone. The problem is that some people supported this nonsense just to punish someone, and now they realize that those policies that shrink the state and leave people alone, it turns out that they leave you alone too, dear.
I think it looks like a lot of things. Listen, here's the deal. We as Democrats can sit there and say, oh, you know what? He violating the Emoluments Clause of the Constitution. And the average person's like, say what now? What are you talking about, right? So, number one, I think that we have to deal with that and explain to people why it is so bad, because he will go out there and say, yo, me getting a free plane from the Qataris, like, that just means that, you know what, we don't have to spend this money on a plane, right? Like, he can explain it to people that don't understand why we have these rules and why the Constitution was looking out for us. So it's a matter of bringing that in, having a hearing, and then making sure that we translate it and we amplify it. It's not big enough just to go on TV. Love y'all, appreciate y'all. But, like, communications has to be a full-on kind of strategy. And that is something that I've worked really hard to do, because I want to make sure that I'm not just screaming into a vacuum. I also want to make sure that we're amplifying the voices. We've got so much amazing talent that's on that committee, but we need a leader that literally can lift up the entire team so that people say, you know what, we actually starting to believe in the Democrats. There's more than just one or two of them that are fighting. But also, I think that we just got to be real and we got to go hard, right? Like, there's only one person Donald Trump does not want in that seat. It is me. Like, point blank, period. And same thing with a Republican colleague out of North Carolina that was like, I'm fearful because I'm not going to hold back. Now, listen, this doesn't mean that I plan to be partisan in any way, but as a trained trial attorney, we're going to follow these facts. We're going to follow the evidence, and we are going to make it plain. I also think that we can't just say, well, we're in the minority, so we can't do anything. I don't believe in that rhetoric. I believe in fighting, and that's exactly what I've been doing. So, like, does this mean that we take the fight to their backyard? Absolutely, because those people may not be tuning in. So allowing me to go and do shadow hearings on the road where I'm going into Republican districts, and the people that are testifying are the people that have been impacted, whether they lost their jobs or whether they lost funding for Meals on Wheels or whatever it is, to tell their story so that their neighbors can hear them, and then they will know that we are listening, and we are not here just because it's election time. We are here because we actually want to heal this country.
In the time that we have left, to follow up on this, the last time this seat was open and there was a race within the Democratic caucus for this particular seat, former leadership weighed in, and members weighed in to say that we don't want that person, we want this person. Do you have a...
Now a senator comes out and says, everyone is going to die, and then posts a video apologizing in a graveyard. I mean, What kind of dystopia is this? We didn't elect a gravedigger to Parliament, brother. We elected him to improve the lives of this nation. Do you know what the most tragic thing is? There is no care left in this politics. There is no caring. And that's exactly why you can't win the people over by making legal speeches in the halls about the emoluments clause. People are asking, why is this guy buying gift jets from Arab sheiks? And we have to go out and explain, because it is corruption, because this is against the Constitution itself. But just telling is not enough. Communication is no longer about being on TV. It's going street by street, showing what those policies are doing to real people. Shadow hearing? Yes, please. We need a voice, not a show, and we will be that voice. Well, friends, Trump has taken another tour of his reality, with Elon as his dance partner this time. But here at the Liberty Left, we won't just watch this absurdity. Because it's not just about who says what, it's also about who remains silent. If you think this order can't go on like this, subscribe to the channel, like the video, write what you think in the comments. Because remember, we don't just report news, we build resistance. See you in the next video. Freedom comes from the left, my friend.